All right, everybody. So today we're talking about the most controversial figure that we talk about on this show. He's become my biological stepdad at this point. I've accepted him as being a bit of a grifter, sure. But it's our boy Michael Saylor, right? I think he's a grifter. I think he's reckless. I don't think he's bold. I don't think there's anything bold about buying into a Ponzi scheme that's just filled with degenerate gamblers. Hopefully he's covering the downside. I hope he's able to bet against Bitcoin in some capacity, because that would be the smartest thing he could do, considering he probably knows it's a Ponzi. He's got it. So we're not the biggest of fans of Michael Saylor on this show, admittedly. Do I think he's a bad dude? No. I think Michael Saylor is probably a fine individual. But he's still, in my opinion, grifting. That matters. Matters a lot, actually. So, give me a few moments. We're gonna get a quick chat in the chat bubble. We're going to select some live sources real quick in Social Stream Ninja. Activate it. Boom. Active. Heck yeah. Get this in here on OBS. Sorry for the delay, everybody. All right. I think we are ready to roll. Who's on the dashboard today? Anybody? Welcome to the program, though. Tanisha says hi. Hello, Tanisha. Welcome to the program. You're the number one fan already. Good job. But we're talking about our boy Michael Saylor, and I want to go over a couple fun facts about our boy Michael Saylor. All right? Let's get to it. Talk about the boy, the GOAT. I think Bitcoin, by the way, just as a fun fact, is a net negative to society. I don't think that Bitcoin offers anything of real value to society, and I do think it is a net negative, just as a heads up. Mr. Saylor announced MicroStrategy bought 850 Bitcoin. Whoa. Which was worth around an estimated $99.7 million worth of that. That's such a waste of money. It's like you're buying virtually nothing of value in that between September 15th and the 21st, bringing his treasury up to 639,835 BTC and citing 26% year-to-date BTC yield. Look, my man is participating in a Ponzi scheme, and either he knows it and he's willingly doing it, or he is that bad at figuring out what actual value is. Bitcoin is not a store of value. Bitcoin is basically a Ponzi scheme created by an anonymous person. I'm from the left coast. We'll put it that way. What's under there? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. DC's push for a federal Bitcoin reserve. Saylor joined miners and crypto execs at Capitol Hill Roundtable on September 16th, backing proposals to establish a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve. Stock under pressure, still buying after missing S&P 500 inclusion, reported September 8th. In a recent slide in MSTR, Saylor has kept the buy Bitcoin message steady. Look, the reason he wasn't accepted into the reason MicroStrategies could not be accepted, in my opinion, this is my theory, into the S&P 500 is because it's buying up a Ponzi scheme and praying to God that the Ponzi scheme keeps going up. Dude, Michael Saylor, you're buying a digital collectible, and when that collectible goes out of favor with the public, you want to know what happens? You're going to go bankrupt. Sadly, you see these guys like Michael Saylor. I don't even know how people find this guy to be charismatic. He's not charismatic. But the Bitcoin bros love him because he keeps telling them what they want to hear. You're going to be rich. Off of Bitcoin, my click coin, right? What a dingbat, dude. But yeah, MicroStrategies should never be included in the S&P 500. That would be a major mistake. My name is Michael Garza. That's what they call me. My English is fluent and good. I appreciate it. Most people would probably say otherwise, but I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. I've been speaking it for a long time. So Avadish says, "Oh, bottle of water." He wants me to say bottle of water. You want me to say water? Bottle of water. Stack Buddies 1911 says, I got robbed by a homeless dude this morning, Manny, and he took my sandwich. Sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. It's no good. Jesus. I'm sorry about that, Stack Buddies. I'm sorry about that, brother. It's a bug on my hair? Really? My opinions on Diddy is, I mean, if the jury found that he did nothing wrong, he did nothing wrong, man. Let's see. This person is saying, I don't know why, but I feel like you're the type of guy that understood how Squidward felt only after taking shrooms. Hey, maybe. It's quite possible. Quite possibly so. It's gone now. I wouldn't be surprised about a bug on me. Not a shock at all. So what do you guys want to talk about? Christian said, you're back again. Did you eat lunch? I ate lunch, brother. I ate lunch. You good? I'm good. I appreciate the concern, brother. My brony brother. Overall, though, I think, I had some little gummy bear things, and Diddy was also my favorite dude, too, brother. Heck yeah. We love the Didster, dude. good to see everybody, though, in the chat. Let's keep talking about my boy Michael Saylor. So the stock is under pressure, still buying. Like I said, after missing the S&P 500 inclusion, like we were talking about, Saylor is still keeping the Ponzi scheme alive by telling the internet to basically keep it going. Basically, Michael Saylor is no different to me than. Do you guys remember the dude, Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street guy? Like, legitimately. It's like he's basically Michael Belfort, Jordan Belfort, dude. I want to call him Michael Belfort at this point because he's basically promoting a pump and dump scheme. But the problem is there's no real rules and regulations on Bitcoin because it's really the wild, wild west. The markets can be manipulated by just about anybody. And Michael Saylor knows this. So he chooses to do the most massive manipulative stuff to the market. Now, if Michael Saylor's smart, which I don't know if he is, I hope he's betting against Bitcoin. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel's back tomorrow. Jeez. Jimmy Kimmel's such a hack, dude. Let me look that up. We love the... Hey, you love the Diddy too, man. Didster. I don't know who that is, brother. Let me take a look here. So Jimmy Kimmel's back? Really? Ugh. I didn't know people actually watched Kimmel. I feel like this is a publicity stunt. Like they suspended him temporarily. They knew they were going to reinstate him. Crazy. I don't know. I don't think he should have been banned per se. I really am fine with Jimmy Kimmel like staying on the air. That's fine. I just think he's a total chode. And his ratings are terrible, by the way. Like, he's not funny. He's just so overly political. It's tough to find him even remotely amusing. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and if possible, join as a channel member. The more people we have, the better. But yeah, more subscribers, the better. We really appreciate it big time, and really trying to keep up the message. But yeah, here's the thing, man. Michael Saylor, Bitcoin. We all know that Bitcoin is a net negative to society. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Michael Saylor is bold or reckless? In the chat, please type in, if you think Michael Saylor is bold, type in bold. If you think that Michael Saylor is a reckless hack, just type in reckless. What do you guys think? Bold? Type in bold if you think Michael Saylor is bold. Type reckless if you think he's reckless. But yeah, as you all know, not a fan of Bitcoin. Not a fan of Michael Saylor. I do think that Michael Saylor is promoting a Ponzi scheme, and I don't like it, man. I don't like it at all. It's wild to me, man. And then let's see. There's also sideways Bitcoin commentary. So in a new interview, Mr. Michael Saylor explained why Bitcoin's been range bound and reiterated the long-term thesis. Here's the thing. The reason that it's at a certain range and the reason it's gotten as far as it has is because there are Bitcoin spot ETFs, which are allowing susceptible people to get into this Ponzi scheme. Look, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, straight up. And it's in a bubble. And the sooner that bubble pops, honestly, the better for the world. The world is better by dismissing Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin has any value. It's basically BS private money. Just like Peter Schiff said, it's a net negative to society. It's not good for society at all. And it will probably end in downfall. So that's the thing, man. So Mr. Saylor made a bot allegation. Ooh, bots. Okay, so today, a report flagged Saylor's claim that a short seller funded bot swarms to bash MSTR on social platforms. Because your company sucks. Michael Saylor, the reason, I'm sorry, bro. You're promoting a Ponzi scheme. You deserve all the criticism in the world. And by the way, short sellers are right. I think it's important too. If you can say that Bitcoin's a good thing, then you should also be able to say that Bitcoin's a bad thing. And if strategy is hoarding up on a bad thing, strategy is a bad thing. Not the company. I'm just gonna call it MicroStrategy. So Micro Wiener Strategies, Michael Saylor's annoying company. Look, it's a bad company. It's hoarding up on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. I think we all know this. Like, tell me you guys are not this stupid. Tell me you guys are not this dumb. You know Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. That's right, dude. I got a big $100 bill. I had a big hundo yesterday in Super Chats. Yeah. Thank you, Programmer, though. I appreciate you, brother. Are you guys... So what are you guys? You guys pro Bitcoin or you guys pro everything else? Jimmy Kimmel sucks, but... Russell said, yesterday I dropped a deuce in my best friend's toilet tank. Not the bowl. It's called an upper decker. Want to be my friend? Nope. I have a new invention. This is Christian Medwig. It says, I have a new invention, two-sided toilet paper. Garza, could you please try it out and give me feedback? I already used two-sided toilet paper, and the result has not been good. Christian says, when will the Bitcoin Ponzi crash? Only time will tell. My projection is it should crash at any time. The fact that Bitcoin goes up is proof that there's too much dumb money out there. There's too many gamblers in the system. Now, eventually, the dumb money does run out. The thesis is the thesis of the greater fool theory is this: eventually, you do run out of fools to buy at a higher price. So eventually, the price of Bitcoin goes so high that it has no other choice but to go back down. Christian says, that'd be awesome if she gave me $100 of super chat. That'd be cool. Pro Bitcoin, but she didn't. So Boltachi says never. Bitcoin's terrible. I'll put pro Bitcoin up so people actually think I'm pro Bitcoin when I'm not. I am not pro Bitcoin. Just want to let you guys know. I think Bitcoin is an evil net negative to society, and it's got to go. Like, it'll never go anywhere, but I'm saying that people need to stop taking it seriously and treat it for the Ponzi it is. It's just a fancy digital collectible. And in my opinion, it is worthless. It is straight up worthless. MP for Gamer says, yo, hello, what up, G? My G dog, what up, my brony brother? Dude, we got so many brony brothers in the house. What up, dude? Do you got any beef right now? Are you mad about something? I'm mad. So Baltachi says it'll go down end of the year, beginning of next year is what Baltachi's saying. 160,000. Do you think... Whoa, you think it's going to... Hold on. You think it's going to go to $160,000 per coin? I hope to God that's a typo, man. I mean, I love betting against Bitcoin for sure. I really do. I get pretty revved up sometimes when I get to bet against Bitcoin. But what do you guys think about Michael Saylor, though? Do you think he's bold or reckless? All right, so we're putting out a poll. The super chat poll is, what is Michael Saylor overall? Is he bold? Is he reckless? And what do you guys ultimately think? Or is he just the greatest of all time? We got 4 votes in on the poll. Let's take a look at the poll real quick. All right, so we got 4 votes in on the poll. 75% of you say reckless, 25% of you say bold. I mean, look, Michael Saylor, man, at the end of the day, what I firmly believe about him is I just think he's on the wrong path of history. He's on the wrong side of history. I know there's some of you out there who think that Michael Saylor's like basically a legend or a god, a godlike figure in your imaginations, and he gets you guys wet. I know Michael Saylor gets a lot of you Bitcoin boys, you Bitcoin bros wet. Okay? I get it. But yeah, so we still only got 4 votes. 75% of you say reckless, 25% say bold. But I do want to see where this goes. I want to see where this poll goes. And still 0 likes on the stream, by the way. Guys, make sure you guys like the stream and make sure you guys subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better. No, there's a difference between bold and reckless. They're not the same. Some people are reckless, and here's the thing. When somebody's clearly wrong, but they're still going for something that's clearly a Ponzi scheme, that's reckless. I firmly believe that Michael Saylor rides the line of reckless. That is my opinion. I know it's not a popular opinion, but Michael Saylor is a reckless individual. I believe this. Sure, not a popular opinion. hated by many on this one. But it doesn't prevent me from being right. Just because you hate what I'm saying doesn't mean I'm wrong. All right. But let's see. 80% of you guys so far, we got 5 votes in, say he's reckless. 20% say bold. Yeah, I don't think there's anything bold about what Michael Saylor is doing. I think what he's doing is creating a Bitcoin treasury. It would be like me saying that I really do consider Bitcoin very stupid. I think that investing in it as a long-term strategy is idiotic because there's nothing there. There's nothing backing it. There's no intrinsic value to Bitcoin. That's my biggest problem with it. It's one of my biggest annoyances with it. What's the definition of a Ponzi scheme? Well, in this instance, it's a it could be a new term, a decentralized Ponzi scheme. Look, there may be technically nobody at the top controlling anything, but I got to admit, there's a lot of institutional investors really revving things up and really changing the game. All right? So you have to keep in mind that institutional investors, all right, are manipulating the Bitcoin market in ways that you would not believe. And by the way, institutional investors are not dumb enough to believe that Bitcoin's a long-term play. They just want to make money off you. That's why they did the Bitcoin spot ETF, so they could buy put contracts from idiots dumb enough to write the put contracts. Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. And if you don't believe me, I really don't care. But yeah, Yari says sometimes being reckless is bold, to be fair. No, it's not fair. It's not bold to be reckless. I'm sorry, there are differences there. Being reckless is being reckless. Bold, if I were to say bold, sometimes you have to take a chance. That's being bold. But you don't always have to take a chance on stupidity. If I had a gold reserve versus a gold reserve would be bold. If I had my own gold reserve. If I had my own Bitcoin reserve, I think that would be reckless. There's so much data to prove that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. It has no intrinsic value, and eventually it'll go down to zero because it's nothing more than a digital collectible. And eventually all collectibles fall out of favor because they don't really have intrinsic value. Only the collector wants the collectible.
Damn, you're very sexy.
Thank you for the subscription, by the way. More subscribers, the better. We love subscribers. We love simp subscribers. That's always fun. No, we appreciate all the subscribers. Thank you. Big time. It matters. Matters a lot. Yari says, I mean, I get what you're saying, but if you're not reckless enough to be reckless, you're obviously not bold. Then it, like, this weird in between. But yeah, I agree with you. I'd also say he's reckless. Yeah, I think he's fully reckless. I think Bitcoin is such a big Ponzi scheme. Hi, random player. It's good to see you back in the chat. You won the last vertical, so hopefully you end up at the number 1 spot again. But then again, anybody could take a throne on here. Invest in your image. Yeah, that's why first off, I cut my hair. Well, sort of shaved my beard as best as I could. I probably could have done a better job of that while I was in the shower, but, you know, that happens. So you can't win them all. Yeah, investing in your image can be a positive thing, for sure. Why not? But yeah, I want to thank again the individual yesterday who gave me a $100 super chat. I still can't believe it. The name is eluding me at the moment. Let me remember. I'm trying to remember here.
Laugh out loud.
You took number one again, I think. Yep, you took number one with just one super chat. That's all it took. Stormy River, by the way. Stormy River gave a $100 super chat yesterday, which was really cool. And by the way, Random Player took number one by giving a super chat. So if you guys want to beat Random Player, you could either do it it is tough to just chat your way to the top, but super chats actually have a lot of pull in the YouTube algorithm. So Random Player was able to just take number one from everybody. So appreciate the donation, Random Player. But yeah, if you guys want to do a battle royale of super chats, I ain't going to stop anybody. That's up to you. But yeah, no, I think Mr. Michael Saylor doing what he's doing, I just think that he's just such a Ponzi artist. I just don't believe in Ponzi schemes. I think it's a bad thing. But yeah, I gave that one a like. Thank you, Random Player. Random Player's number one. If you guys want to take Random Player's throne, you gotta... Random Player's ahead of the throne right now. 225 EXP. Damn, dude. The only way you could technically beat Random Player is to out super chat Random Player. That's the crazy part about this. But thank you for the $2 super chat, though. I really appreciate that big time. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, we got our first super chat for this stream, and we really appreciate it. Random Player's been contributing, and I appreciate your contributing in the chat, though. I really do. Anyway, back to Michael Saylor, talking about our boy. We all know Michael Saylor is, like I said, a grifter, a Ponzi artist, you name it. Say the word, and you know it. Let's see. Looking up some more Michael Saylor stuff. Man, Michael Saylor's always in the headlines, man. Well, I appreciate it. I'll try. I try not to drink too much beer on live stream, though. But I appreciate it. So overall, I want to talk about a few more extra things. Like I said, we talked about Michael Saylor buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin, $99.7 million worth of it. That's crazy, man. Dude, he is racking up far too much Bitcoin. Dude, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy he's a whale at this point. And if he was to dump his entire position, he would, by the way, if he tried dumping his entire Bitcoin position, that would be huge. But it's just a collectible at this point. And look, I still own Bitcoin. I got in early. I'll admit it. I still think Bitcoin is stupid at the end of the day. But if it keeps rising up in value, that's okay to me. But it's going to fluctuate quite a bit because there's a lot of people who don't believe in Bitcoin, I think more than who do. And eventually the only people who are going to be in the market with Bitcoin are Michael Saylor just sitting in his corner and nobody wants it. I think setting up a Bitcoin reserve is stupid. It's not digital gold. It's a digital Ponzi scheme. Just face it, you guys. It is a digital Ponzi. All right? Now, the vote, we got 7 votes so far. What is Michael Saylor overall? And 14% of you say he's bold. 86% of you say he's reckless. Okay. So you mine Bitcoin quite a bit, it sounds like. Is that right? So it sounds like you're pretty pro Bitcoin. Which is okay, by the way, if you are pro Bitcoin. We try not to shame anybody on this channel. I mean, it's cool that you don't have to work, but what if the price of Bitcoin drops dramatically? Because, like, hypothetically, let's say Bitcoin crashed to $70,000 per coin. Wouldn't that affect you in some way? I mean, I think it would be smart for you to bet against Bitcoin, if we're going to be honest, random player. Jessica, if you want me to sing a song, it's best to put it in a super chat. Song requests are typically done in super chat format. If you guys, I'll try my best to sing a song. I can't guarantee I'll sing it well. I'd probably have to look up the lyrics. And no promises that I'll even do a good job singing it, by the way. So keep that in mind. Oh no, we don't play songs on here. I'll sing a song, but because of copyright stuff that happens, we don't play songs. No, sorry, Jessica, we don't do that. Just because YouTube is super strict about copyright, and I don't take chances with that. Let's see. Not saying I like Bitcoin every year. It's 100% more in value. If it drops dramatically, I'll buy as much as I can. Next year it'll shoot. But here's the thing, though. That's not a guarantee. Eventually, Bitcoin, anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually goes to 0. It's only a matter of time. So just because something goes up for years and years doesn't mean it deserves to go up. Pokemon cards are a great example. Intrinsically, they're worthless. They're just little pieces of cardboard with some Pokemon put on there. But what I'm trying to say is this. Consider this possibility, okay? Bitcoin is a digital collectible. At the bare minimum, random player, at the bare minimum, why don't you just like buy, like, have you ever thought, this is not financial advice by any means, but have you ever considered buying like the S-Bit or Biddy? Just in case, it's kind of like a leverage to make some money off of Bitcoin's downturn instead of having to buy into Bitcoin. It's almost like the S-Bit is like a safety net. If anything, I still think Bitcoin is stupid though. Random player, man. I think that's... Sorry about that, Jessica. Sorry to disappoint. But random player, look, I don't think it's going to keep going up. I know that you want to live in a world of hopium, but just because something has a limited supply within, by the way, an artificially constructed blockchain, the limitations were imposed by a person, not by nature. At the end of the day, Bitcoin is still worthless. And I think it's more advantageous to bet against something that's worthless than anything at all. Look, here's the thing. The difference between shitcoins and Bitcoin is absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, they're all derived from Bitcoin. At the end of the day, you're owning just a string of data. There's nothing of value there. It's not backed by anything of value. It has no utility, man. Oh, come on. 2025. You think that by 2050, random player, are you serious? You think by 2050 that it's going to $1 million per coin? I think that might be a stretch. It's a stretch. Come on, random player. I know you ain't that delusional. I hope you're not. It really is crazy, though. I don't understand, like, how that's possible. Oh, we got Tim Smith in the house. Okay, hold on. Tim Smith says, I'm going to clone Saylor using some chest hair he left in my shower. Whoa. Tim, have you been showering with my boy Michael Saylor? Stop that, bro. Stop showering, Mike. Leave my Michael Saylor out of this, okay? Ooh, yes, British water bottle of water. Are you trying to get me a bottle of water? In my Bugatti, like Andrew Tate, getting my Bugatti. My Bugatti's coming in my booty. Yeah. Michael Saylor, by the way. So I don't know if Tim Smith is talking shop or talking dirty. Tim, I think you're talking dirty. And you guys can interpret this how you want. Tim Smith, and I quote, says, I've enhanced his yield a few times with a little leverage. Tim. That's actually pretty funny, dude. Dude, Tim Smith is the GOAT, by the way, everybody, just as a heads up. Tim Smith is my boy, dude. There you have it, dude. Tim Smith, comment of the year. So we got 12 votes in the super chat poll. What is Michael Saylor overall? What is Michael Saylor overall? 42% of you say he's bold. 58% say he's reckless. Now, obviously I'm in the camp of reckless. I do think that Michael Saylor is reckless with his, I call it the micro penis strategy. But yeah, Michael Saylor, man, he's out of control. Dude is out of control. What do we do about guys like, when Michael Saylor, he just keeps promoting Bitcoin, man, promoting it. I think eventually, though, Bitcoin does need to just... And we're looking at it now. I mean, look at the market. I was able to profit a little bit. I did some micro profits earlier just by the crazy swing that Bitcoin made. But look, Bitcoin is fueled by nothing but hype and speculation. And at the end of the day, that's all it really is. Bitcoin's existence is based on speculation and hype. So I think that matters to some degree. In fact, to every degree, if I'm going to be honest. So I don't know. You guys all you Bitcoin bros are in a speculative asset. And I don't even consider Bitcoin a real asset. I think it's phony. I think it's phony baloney dildo money, dude, at the end of the day. I just don't think it's valuable. And I do think it is for grifters. All right. Tim Smith wants me to complete the series. Virginia is for lovers. So complete this series. So Virginia is for lovers. Bitcoin is for grifters. Coos Bay is for... Virginia is for lovers. Bitcoin is for grifters. Coos Bay is for meth heads. I don't know, dude. I would say Coos Bay is mainly for meth heads, and probably, I think we're really known for just the amount of meth violence that happens here. That's my firm belief. It gets wild here in Coos Bay sometimes, man. So, random player says, I love Bitcoin when it's low. I buy, then sell when high. It often goes from low to high every 30 days. One day I put 4,600 and I made 1,800, then cashed out. I mean, hey, look, if you're making money off of Bitcoin in some capacity, good for you. I mean, if you know what you're doing, fine, but just be warned. When that Bitcoin crash happens, nobody sees it coming, and it's a very violent crash. I just want to say that right now. So I would just watch your back on that one. When Bitcoin crashes, it crashes. Straight up. I don't think I want to answer that question, but I think you might be right about Tim's maybe random player has the correct answer to Tim Smith's question. I was a little too matter of fact. I was like, we got too many meth heads here. It's a big thing, man. A lot of meth heads here in Coos Bay. It's a little frustrating sometimes. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and join as a member. If you want, you can skip the line by doing a super chat. Your message is highlighted and read first, though. I got to say that. Random player says, crash is perfectly fine. My miners have paid themselves off. Good job. Hey, if it happens, it happens. But I do think you got to protect your downside. And I love the S-Bit, though. It is my favorite investment because I get to bet against Bitcoin at a level that I feel comfortable with. And I do believe that there is a cap to Bitcoin. I think that a $2.31 trillion market cap for something that is basically strings of data, and you just exchange the strings of data across a public ledger, I think it's just it's stupid. It's ridiculous. So I don't know. I can't be on board with it, man. I'm doing an experiment with Social Stream Ninja real quick. Interesting. I'm not too sure how this overlay works, but I'm trying to figure out something, you guys. Sorry about that. How do you enable this? This is interesting. I don't know if that works, but I'll have to figure that out. I'll do something different here. There we go. Okay, that looks actually kind of good. Hold on. Let me see here. Let's see. Probably put that more towards the bottom. Yeah, I think that'll be better. I think it's a little better towards the bottom here. There we go. Keep that more towards the bottom. Kind of curious what this looks like. My boy Tylord, by the way, is that... Oh my god. My biological stepson's back, dude. So SBIT is actually an exchange-traded fund. It's just, you can just go on any brokerage account. It's not something that you'll find on Coinbase. If you got a Robinhood or a Charles Schwab brokerage account or something like that, you can at least buy the SBIT ETF. So whenever the price of Bitcoin dips, you do end up doing a pretty good job. I mean, if it doesn't dip, then, you know, you lose a little value on that, but that's all right. Because if you're getting a lot of unrealized gains from Bitcoin, those gains will at least cover the unrealized losses that you get from periodically buying into the SBIT. But yeah, you should always, please remember, you should, if you're going to bank on the upside, at least try to cover some of your downside. It's really the key. And also, Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. Eventually, it will have to go to $0. My boy Tylord says, "Dad, you're out of oil again." We're out of baby oil, basically. There's only room for one random, my guy. Oh my god, I've been around longer. It is true that my boy Tylord has been the mussy bussy boy for much longer than you random players, so he does take the honorary mussy throne. So 97 and am in real life friends with Garza. So the year joined doesn't matter. 82, I win. You're president on TV right now live. He couldn't even pronounce the word acetaminophen. Sometimes you can't. I remember the first time I saw the word acetaminophen, I was like, what the frick is this word? So I get that. Happens to the best of us, man. I gotta check something on the old phone real quick. One moment, you guys. Sorry about that. Checking a few things. Oh. Oh, I gotta pop my back. There we go. He might. People are going crazy, man. Let's see. Beltachi says 4 years of sideways on the downside and 1 year of a total bull market dominance. Well, here's the thing, man. I like to buy stocks when the market's a little bit sideways because I don't like crazy bull runs. If we're gonna be honest, I really just want good companies. You know, hopefully they got the cash flow to pay a good dividend. That's always the thing. But yeah, my boy Tylord's in the chat. It's good to see my boy. You guys make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. Though the more subscribers we have, the better. It does help the channel grow in so many ways. So I greatly appreciate it, you guys. But yeah, with Michael Saylor, man. Michael Saylor's rough. Here's another thing, man. So the Hill pushes for a U.S. Bitcoin reserve. Saylor met with lawmakers and miners in D.C. We already talked about this earlier, but September 16th, about a bill to build a federal Bitcoin reserve. Like, that's a big deal. So one of the ways he keeps buying, essentially, is new filings coverage, show huge remaining capacity under MicroStrategies at the stock market at the moment program. ATM, sorry. 16 billion still available and continue. Like, he's using. What pisses me off is he's using preferred stock to finance these purchases. So basically, he's issuing new stock. Morons are buying that stock for whatever price the market deems it worthy, which honestly, MicroStrategies has gone up so rapidly for no reason. Pisses me off. This is stupid, man. By the way, eventually, all these people who diamond hand Bitcoin are eventually going to sell because they need to pay their bills. So, I'll tell you what: if the economy crashes, if everything crashes, so will Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin deserves to crash. It has gone nothing but up for no reason. In fact, the fact that it has any value is sick and disturbing. I think we got it. I'm trying to align this a little bit better. But yeah, micro wiener strategies. We're obviously, look, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. I trash on Bitcoin quite a bit. It is one of those things that I think it's just an intellectually dishonest thing. I just don't think there's anything good at the end of the day about Bitcoin. I know guys like Michael Saylor, they love to hype up Bitcoin, my click coin. It's wild to me, man. Let's keep going. Christian said Trump has a 30-word vocabulary. That's a lie. Trump's vocabulary is the bestest of all time. Let's see. Look up Benjamin Cohen. No, I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that for another live stream. Well, our main focus is Michael Saylor, my biological stepdad, basically. The GOAT, the legend. I think a lot of people love Michael Saylor because of how I think it's stupid to be all in on Bitcoin. I really do. It's probably one of the worst ideas. Random player says, is that the guy that made Block Saylor Block? I have no idea. On YouTube, the dude is a genius. I swear. Look, I think Michael Saylor is a smart dude. I just think that sometimes smart people don't understand what actual value is, and they think that stupid things like Bitcoin are valuable, and it just blows my mind. Blows my mind. $64.77 billion in total assets. Crazy, man. Crazy. Random player says, if I could marry Bitcoin, I would. I mean, hey, do you. You do you, man. It's a bad idea. Got 1 day to go. When does this end? What up, Darren Baker, dude? Said hi. Darren Baker says hi. I said hi. What up, dude? My boy's back. We're talking about our boy Michael Saylor. Look, as you all know, I am I'm a hater of Bitcoin. I'll admit it. I am not about the Bitcoin. I think it is Clickcoin. I think that Bitcoin is a net negative to society at the end of the day. So that's my take on it. But it depends on what everybody else's take is. I like to hear it. And Random Player says, buy a Bitcoin miner and join the dark side. I could teach you how to set up all of it. But, dude, doesn't that increase my electric bill? What's the point? If Bitcoin crashes, then my electric bill, because I'd have to trade in Bitcoin every now and then to fund this stupid operation. No, I'm good. Look, I already have some holdings of Bitcoin. I got in real early. I make money off of the volatility of Bitcoin through trickle buying and trickle selling the SBIT ETF. I'm able to play the back and forths very appropriately. So Darren Baker is giving, like, I don't know what Darren Baker's doing there, but I see some pink turd emojis, I think. Don't know what that's about. Still trying to figure it all out. Because all of these simps don't realize I'm a pimp. Yeah, I can see it running up an electric bill like crazy. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it. Yeah, that's the thing. And here's the thing. If Bitcoin goes to a really low price and I have to sell Bitcoin just to pay my electric bill, because they're not... Here's the thing. They're not going to accept Bitcoin to... Like, my electric company is not going to accept payment tender in Bitcoin. I'm sorry, this is not happening. You tell me where that's going to happen. I mean, there might be some electric companies that have gone off the deep end and say, yeah, payments in Bitcoin are accepted. Alan Bayless says, hi, W2F is up with the new YouTube format. What new YouTube format? Well, what are you talking about, brother? There's a new format? What's the new format, man? 24,000 watts? Hopefully you're calculating the electric bill against how much you make off of Bitcoin. And I really do hope at the end of the day that you're making a net positive. Meow is right, Darren. I appreciate you, partner. Lol, bruh. You change your BTC to USD on Coinbase, then send to your bank the same day. All right. I guess that's a smart way to do it. I don't know. I just don't trust any of the processes at this point. I just can't, man. I still think it's all... let's see. Electricity takes precisely half the profits. Yeah, for now. What if, just what if, like this is why I'm saying, what if Bitcoin mining becomes unprofitable? Do you at least have enough other assets that you've stacked up? Because Bitcoin's not a real asset, man. And you know it. Like, straight up, you know it. And eventually, Bitcoin mining is going to become very unprofitable. It's going to be a thing, man. It's going to be extremely unprofitable for people. Alan says, it was almost impossible for me to find the live streams of people I follow. You're the first I found. Thank you, brother. Well, I'm glad at least you're able to find me again. I want to thank you for the subscription, man. More subscribers, the better. I think people are hating this particular stream because I'm talking smack about my boy, Michael Saylor. That's what I call him. Hey, more subscriptions, the better, though, so please subscribe. Michael Saylor. Oh, wow. 4 likes and 1 dislike. Okay. Thank you guys for the likes, by the way. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, it just depends on what you guys think about Mr. Michael Saylor. And we could take a look and see where Bitcoin's at currently. Bitcoin, my ClickCoin, you know. Come on. I do gotta check something real quick, you guys. Hold on. One more second. What up, G Unit? Okay, so we're gonna look at Michael Saylor Bitcoin. We're going to look at coin market caps, live Bitcoin, my ClickCoin price movement. And my goodness, man, Bitcoin, my ClickCoin is down. It's down. And it deserves to be. We all believe it's a Ponzi scheme, right? I'm hoping people do. So here's the chart. So I'm going to be like Austin Hilton. It's this dude who's a total grifter, by the way. Anybody who talks about crypto and is serious about it and says it's a good thing for your portfolio is a grifter. Remember, it is wrong. All right. So we're let's see, 115,000, 14. Look at that. Bitcoin was down quite a bit today, but I think its lowest point today was at 112,124. Yep. Look, Bitcoin is, like I always say, Bitcoin is ClickCoin. It's bad. I think it's bad for your health. I think it's a net negative to society. I don't know. For the uninstantiated state, let's see, the Statue of Liberty was given to us, but no, it was given us to the Statue of Liberty was given to us by France, I believe, if I remember correctly. What up, Darren, my man? What's up, Brony? We got another... Oh, I forgot to put the chat up in here. Hold on. Why? There we go. We'll kind of put it like right here, maybe. That works. I think that's good enough. Whatever. As long as my boy gets some airtime, I guess. But yeah, I mean, there you have it. I mean, there's not much to look at. Like, Bitcoin goes up and down based on the demand. And so what is the trend? So the community sentiment is 82% of the community says they're bullish. 18% say they're bearish. Now, of course, everybody's going to be bullish when they see it go up, because the only people who get into Bitcoin are traditionally degenerate gamblers. All right? I'm sorry, Darren Baker. If you're a Bitcoin guy, I mean, you're a gambler. I love you, bro, but you're a gambler. Still love you, brother. By the French, it was given by the French, yep. Without a doubt. The French people did it. Go France, by the way, man. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. I mean, France is a little lame, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. We're not missing out on anything here. Let's take a look. See what else we got. Everybody's hating on the French. I don't get it. I am a Frenchman. I'm going to bet that's a myth. I think it's probably a lot of woke people in France. I have a feeling. Then again, they're kind of having a mini French Revolution over there at the moment, so there might not be as much. Maybe the woke stuff is finally going away. Okay. Well, here, I want to tell you what. Give me a moment. folks. Daddy-O's back. I'm afraid to see what I'm witnessing in the chat. By the way, again, I want to thank Random Player for the super chat earlier. Much appreciated. Does help the channel quite a bit. So, thank you. Big time. Hey, you do your thing, man. You be as dumb as you want, Silly Jinx. I appreciate you. Let's take a look at some of the chats real quick. So Random Player 717 says, "Who runs Bartertown? Say it." No clue. I don't even know what Bartertown is. Wow, we got 20 votes in the super chat poll. What is Michael Saylor overall? 50% of you say bold, 50% of you say reckless. This is a very interesting poll result. I'm actually shocked we're at a 50-50 split, and you know, I think half of the internet appears to be Michael Saylor lovers, and the other half of the internet thinks he's just a reckless jackwagon. I agree. I want to let the people decide. I mean, I personally have my own opinions, but I want to hear what you guys think. I think he's reckless. Christian says, ketchup sandwich for dinner. Yo, I'm back, dude. It's good to see you, Silly Jinx. Random Player says, hi, I'm back. Dustin wants an autism check. Cool. I'm pretty autistic. Silly Jinx says, hey, Random, congrats on winning. And Random Player is number 1 right now. Now, you guys can take Random Player off of her throne. The best way to do that, honestly, is super chats at this point, because she did pay up to get to that number 1 top fans part. So she's got 300 experience points, and Christian has 150. The only way you're going to beat these people, anybody else in the rankings, you're just going to have to, I think the best thing you can possibly do is, if you want, you super chat, you pony up that super chat. Dustin says, Tylenol time pay up. How is Tylenol stock doing? Dropping? Probably. Wouldn't shock me at all. Random Player says, my autism is good. It's got me fixated on Bitcoin, and I'll never work a day in my life. Just mine coin. Yep, exactly. Because I've gotten so good at YouTube, at least figuring out what I need to do on YouTube, it's pretty much helping me out. So more live streams, the better. Tylenol better pay up. What's Tylenol done? It's Tylenol. I gotta do maybe something on Tylenol then. I don't know if Tylenol's in the news, man. I should probably talk about it. But why does Tylenol need to pay up? Dustin says, yeah, it was great in 2021. All right. It's so great to see that you aren't taking advantage of Charlie Kirk's death for views anymore. How was I taking advantage of his death? By doing my show? This is my show, dude. I talk about topics. I talk about everything. I talk about trending figures, alive or dead. This is the show. We profile different types of public figures. We talk about them. That's a big deal. Dustin says Ethereum and Litecoin. Okay. This chat funny. It's that, dude, the chat gets kind of wild, man. I will say that. The chat gets extremely wild. I don't even know why I deal with some of these people. They're good people. Random player says I have some miners for Litecoin and Doge, but I only focus on BTC. I don't know, man. Sub? I mean, didn't you... Silly Jinx, you subbed like yesterday or something. 2016 Toyota Land Cruiser is salivating. Hell yeah. Dustin says it's real. Crypto is high rolling at times. Yeah, it is. That's great. You got a great graphics card. Cool. Silly Jinx says tee hee hee hee. I have random player says I have a 100-inch 4K display. Dustin says this guy is overweight, out of shape. He thinks he knows everything, and a real downer. That's funny. Yo, welcome back, dude. The only thing, wow, random player saying the only thing missing in my life is Silly Jinx, and then Silly Jinx saying, yo, welcome back, dude. OP. I think random wanna chatting at me. Oh no, dude. I'm broke. I can't pay you. It's alright. It's alright, brother. I honestly just appreciate you guys being here. I love the chat interaction. I love the fact that you guys choose to hang out and spend your time on this show. We try to keep it fun. RFK and Trump said Tylenol. Oh, wow. They're saying that Tylenol did that? Wow. Random player says, do you do VR chat? Silly J. You believe, let's see, trackers and... It's a good convo. Sorry, Silly Jinx. There's no hope for you, dog. No hope. See what else we could talk about with Michael Saylor. So the market take would be this. Saylor's latest interviews frame BTC's current range as a base building phase. Early OG sellers rotating out while institutions prep for lower volume regimens. Now, what would be, I guess, what the short interest I think is there. But let's take a look here. Net worth plus influence storyline. You know, Michael Saylor entered Bloomberg's Billionaires Index this month, $7.3 billion net worth. Which you can spin into, did the Bitcoin strategy personally work? Sure. It worked because he grifted. It worked because he was able to create the ultimate pump and dump scheme, make Bitcoin very popular. And I'm a little bit pissed off that he bought Michael.com, of course. I wanted Michael.com so badly. I'm pissed at whoever bought MichaelGarza.com. I really wanted MichaelGarza.com more than anything. I do have RealGarza.com, which is pretty dope. That's the most important thing, is I got the Real Garza. It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. It's been a while. But yeah, like I said, I want to thank, Random Player for the super chat. Random Player is able to get the experience quickly by throwing out the dough. So it's pretty cool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's getting uncomfortable. I don't know what... I've lost control of the chat, everybody. I've given up. I've given up. I'm sick of feeling. Is there nothing you can say? Take this soul away. I'm suffocating. Tell me what is wrong with me. But yeah, Michael Saylor, dude. We all know that Michael Saylor is kind of a friend of me of the show. I don't really consider him an enemy by any stretch, but man, love Michael Saylor. What a beast. Oh, what a beast. Oh, what a man. Oh. He is a beast, by the way. Silly Jinx, dude. Jinx is gonna get like... Whoa, 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 whoa. What is happening? What is happening, dude? What are you guys doing? I'm the greatest, most famousest YouTuber of all time. Can't help it. Is everybody... I think there's people that are doing some weird stuff in my chat. What are you guys doing? I'm getting very sus. Very suspicious right now. I'm getting super suspicious right now. What is happening here? There's something happening here. There's something here that I just can't explain. And I know I'm where I belong. So, I know how to. I typically do that in StreamYard where there's like two people. So one of these times I could probably do like a StreamYard one. I don't really know how to do it in Streamlabs properly, admittedly. So I'm kind of a little bit of an idiot when it comes to that. But yeah. Dude, I'm falling short in fantasy this year, dude. I got the two best players in fantasy, but I still don't mean jack. It's the thing about fantasy football, man. Anything can happen. Anything. Crazy. I've fallen all the way to 7th. Damn, dude. Damn. The Diddy juice has run out. Is the Diddy juice finally gone, dude? That's the funny thing is the closest thing I do to gambling nowadays is my buddy's fantasy football league, which is just a $50 buy-in. So I do that stuff because it's pretty fun. Random player, dude. Random player gives me the creeps, bro. You're probably a good person in real life, but sometimes you get a little creepy, man. Fantasy, fake, lame. Let's see. Get a real topic, any topic. It's like anti-live stream. Random is making something about me. I could join the live stream. Ideally, it'd be cool to have you join. Might be a while before we have guests on. I think I'm going to do at some point a call-in show where people can call in, of course. Damn it. Silly Jinx says, oof, this chat's getting too weird. You guys are getting a little too creepy in the chat. I've lost control of the chat. That's all I can say, you guys. Got no control, dude. None. But I do want, like I said, I want to thank everybody who's become subscribers. You guys have been just incredible to me. Honestly, you guys have just been treating me right. There's been some people in the chat, obviously, that don't. But, you know, I want to give a big shout out, a big thanks to you guys. You guys seriously have made this a big deal. And I can't help but love it. This is worse. I am worse than NPR radio. I agree with that. Sometimes this show can be extremely insufferable. Tough. You know. But I appreciate y'all joining in. So let's take a look at a few other things real quick. Give me a few seconds, everybody. I'm doing a little experimento. All right, so we're trying to rally up subscribers more than anything. Let's keep going, dude. So random player is hitting on Jinx again. Says Jinx, you don't want the H bonk. What is the H bonk? What does that mean, by the way? Random player, what type of weird stuff are you saying in the chat? Let's say this should be good. Carl says, I'll be back. Got to go buy toilet paper. I come back in. Hey, man. I appreciate your time, Carl. We love you, brother. We love you on this channel. Silly Jinx has no words. I think Silly Jinx is getting a little bit scared. Dustin says, Experimento, yes. This is the best show of all time. Dude, how is this not the best show? You tell me. This is the GOAT show. We know this. You know this. Everybody knows this show is incredible. John, what's up, J-Dog, my man? Random player says, I'm sure they've had the bonk before. I still don't know what the bonk is, dude. What is the bonk? Somebody please enlighten me. Is there like a subculture of stuff that I'm just not aware of? You're on your own, silly Jinx. You're just on your own. You're just on your own, brother. Thank you. Random player. Dude, random players getting a little bit weird in the chat. I will say this. If you're in the chat and we got ourselves a Diddy, if we got ourselves like a P. Diddy inspired person, I can't save you. I would choose the war that's going on in the chat. If I could pick one, I hate all the wars. I think all war is stupid, to be honest. But if I were to pick one war to end, which one's been the bloodiest? I mean, it sucks. If I could only choose one war, I mean, obviously, if there was, how do you choose that? It's tough to pick. I guess I would go with the one that has the most, that's been the bloodiest and had the most senseless killings. I don't know. I think war in itself is a very senseless act. I think it's terrible. Dustin says pink donut. Silly Jinx is hiding. Well, you're not. No. Does my fridge ever rest? Sorry, Angel Hernandez. It does not. No. War on terror. You may want to save that wish in case your country goes through a civil war. I think we're pretty much, I don't want to say that we're there, but we're not looking good, is what I'm saying. As far as it goes, man, we might be in for a punch in the mouth. We might be in for a punch in the mouth. Our country, at least, America. I'm trying to see how many people do their lives. Like, Interesting. So, like, I'm checking out people's lives. I don't even know what's going on here. These guys are going to 1 million subs. Let's see. Looking at the description here. Shit. I do need to do an experiment here. Michael Saylor. Bitcoin Reserve strategy, micro wiener strategies. Do you guys like it when I call Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy company? Do you like it when I say like micro wiener strategies, or like, do you guys like it when I say micro penis strategies? Like, what's your favorite line that I use? Do you guys believe like Michael Saylor's the man? Or do you guys think he's kind of like an egomaniac? Because I think he's a grifter, dude. I think he's taken advantage of a lot of people. In the sense that he wants people to get into something that's just incredibly dumb. And we all know Bitcoin, my click coin, is ridiculous. I think Michael Saylor's a good man. Oh my god, random player says she's into micropeens. Random player also says I have some old lives, I think. Mostly me just trying to figure out camera and OBS. Silly Jinx is at the beach. Hell yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. I can't help you, man. I don't know what I could do to help, man. What can I do? Holy crap, Ford Femboy. What the heck? Dude, come on, bro. Silly Jinx, man. I can't help you, bro. You're on your own. You just have to face the fact that you are going to be dominated by random people in the chat. I don't want you to. I don't want that to happen to you, brother. At the end of the day, though, Silly Jinx is just going to be dominated by randos in the chat. I'm sorry about that, brother. My brony brother, dude. I try to watch out for my brony brothers, but there's only so much I could do to help out my brony brothers in the chat, okay? Michael Saylor. What can you do? I don't know. Ignore? I would just ignore random player. Clearly random player wants I don't know what's happening here. Just don't give away, just keep yourself anonymous, Silly Jinx. That's the best thing you could do, brother. That's the best thing you could do, man. I don't think there's a way to win this one, bro. Back down. Just gotta back down. Just gotta back down. Back off. It's the best thing, dude. All right, so more people simping hard in the chat. Roger says, "Give me a very important life lesson about immaturity." I mean, I would be a pretty good life lesson, I think. Sometimes I could be a little immature for sure, but I think we all can. We're not perfect. If you recognize flaws in yourself, recognize them. Try to be honest with yourself, and occasionally be reflective. Make sure you're treating people and yourself. You got to make sure you're treating yourself a little bit better. I've been doing my best to treat myself better, do the right thing, relax, go for walks, get levels of exercise, be smart about it, and that sort of thing. Silly Jinx, why is it hard to ignore? Like, it's pretty easy to ignore, man. Lay low. Whoa. Roger says, and actually give one about trusting too. I mean, look, you can't trust everybody. That's naive. Use your instincts. You could, if you have good instincts, you could usually tell if somebody is lying to you. If you can't trust your instincts, try to find somebody who can evaluate the other person for you. I guess that's probably the best. Or just start developing good instincts. I don't know. Be observant to the best of your ability. Trust. I do believe that trust is earned, but you can't just be paranoid. So it's a tough one. It's a really tough answer. I don't really know the best answer. The best answer is what I know. But there's probably better answers about trust. I mean, there's philosophers who've been trying to figure out, like, what does trust even matter? There's even a book called Only the Paranoid Survive, that sort of thing. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Silly Jinx says dead. Sorry, Silly Jinx. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Just don't know what to tell you, man. And there's just trust, familial trust. Ideally you're supposed to trust your parents, but honestly, there's a lot of bad parents out there, so I don't even know how that's supposed to work. But Silly Jinx says trust is supposed to be earned. The people who will always put trust in you are your parents. Yeah, it's not bad. Roger says sometimes not even parents I've heard and seen some bad cases. Got ya. Shit, man. One moment. So, Tim Smith is saying Bitcoin is making a comeback in the last hour. Oh my God. I gotta look at it. Oh my God. Is Michael Saylor officially pegging us all? Oh my goodness. Michael Saylor might have just pegged not only myself, but the entire market. It's back up to 113,000. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day because it's a Ponzi scheme. It'll eventually go back down. But crazy. Honestly, Michael Saylor's pegging me, but Michael Saylor is helping Tim Smith because Tim Smith owns the MicroStrategy, like what was it, the covered call ETF, the one that's like 30% covered call or whatever. It's super volatile, but at the same time, it's been a moneymaker for Mr. Tim Smith. So, as I say, if it's making you money, it can be yo honey. Random player 717 has a heart emoji. Very good. Roger says, I've lost so many chances with girls just because of my social skills. I have become slightly better at it, but I want to improve it further. Any suggestions as such? So, Roger, to answer your question, you gotta be you. All right? And that sounds corny and cheesy, and you probably heard that your whole life. I will tell you this, though. You got to learn to get rejected. I mean this. You've got to learn. You got to learn to get rejected. That's a big deal. One of the big things is you never know until you ask. That's one thing, so keep that in mind. Right? Be smart about it, man. I mean, it's really, you'd be surprised at how easy it is. How easy it is. Because, like, you know, I was able, because the best thing you want is you want a girl who really likes you for who you are. So be who you really are. Don't try to fake it, because inauthenticity is very easy to sniff. If you feel like you need to improve yourself, sure. If you want to develop better habits, absolutely. Get a better routine, do better things, you name it. It's smart. Silly Jinx says, let's see, yep. Silly Jinx says, you can do it, dude, Roger. Yeah, we all are rooting for you, brother. We're all rooting for you. This is a channel, by the way, where we root for people. We give them a big clap. We root, man. We're rooting for your success. But we don't want you to be with somebody who doesn't like you, right? And look it, by the way, fun fact, it doesn't matter who you are, 80% of the world's probably not going to find you attractive. Just as a heads up, and 20% will. That's not, and by the way, that's not a reason to give up by any stretch, okay? What that means is 1 out of every 5 people will likely maybe find you attractive, right? So that's some good odds. And look, you're going to have to go through some stuff. What you need to do is be as you could be. Trust me. First time, by the way, my girlfriend, first time her and I actually met, really kind of talked. First time she encountered me, I was singing Gay Bar at karaoke. You know, it's like, yo, I want to take you to a gay bar. I want to take you to a, you know, that song, right? I was singing Gay Bar at a karaoke, for God's sakes, right? That was her first impression of me, and she thought I was funny. A little bit of a weirdo, but she thought I was funny, right? And what I'm trying to tell you is Roger, look, don't sell yourself short. Look, even if you're a little bad at talking to girls, maybe you're nervous because I think you might be nervous about rejection. I'm making a lot of assumptions here. But maybe you're nervous about rejection, and I say, look, the more you get rejected, that means you're making progress. I know it sounds like it's not progress. There's a lot of people in the world, but that one person who likes you for you is going to like you for you. Trust me, I found it. surprisingly, I found it. You think a guy like me, who is as weird as I am, would be single the rest of my life. But what I did was I put myself out there, and whoever liked me. And I'm very fortunate to have the woman in my life in my life. And so my girlfriend, you know, we've been together for like over 5 years, man. And I'm lucky. I'm a lucky dude. I hit the jackpot is what I'm trying to say. And I got lucky. Roger says, actually, Silly Jinx, I'll have to experience it more firsthand or online, seems like. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not always going to be simple. It can be. And you could eventually come up with a formula, but look you just need experience talking to the girls, right? And it's okay to suck. We could barely learn to walk when we're kids, right? As we get older, we don't even talk very well sometimes. You have to get more experience. So talk to more girls, man. Go for it, Roger. And look, people are going to reject you. That's just the world. Whether it's in a relationship, whether it's a business partnership. Look, there have been jobs that I have applied for where I've been rejected, straight up. Could have been for any number of reasons. The way I looked, the way I talked, maybe I had a lack of experience in a field, maybe they didn't like some of my answers. There's always going to be the possibility of rejection. And the moment that you let that sink in, the moment you're going to be less fearful of it. Rejection's just part of the game. The worst thing you could do is not try. That's the worst thing you could do. And you know what? If you fail really hard, it's just another fun story to tell your friends. It's a fun story to tell your family. Like, yeah, I talked to a girl and I fumbled on my words so hard. It was so funny. You got to look at it in a brighter light because it is funny. I could say back in the day when I was single and I would ask, I saw it as a comedy routine. And it was fun. It was just me being silly. But it was also serious. It was a mixture of both. But I was being me. And Roger, you just got to be you, brother. Silly Jinx said I had the same issue. Trust me. You never know until you ask. Exactly, Dustin. Garza, the old and wise. I wouldn't say I'm wise. I'm getting older, though. I still feel like I have a young lion's heart. Young lion's heart, somehow. Roger says that rejection is the entire reason I'm doing it online currently, and it has improved it. I've got rejected a lot online, but nowadays it's slightly less. Like at least I can start or slightly hold a convo. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Look, here's the thing. It's good to find people online, but you do have to meet them in the real world. You have to meet them to try to understand them because people fake a lot of stuff on their profile pics. Ain't gonna lie. They fake their profiles. They fake their descriptions about themselves. It's a thing. People online tend to fake a lot of garbage, right? My tits, for example, my boobs, I think I say they're real, but who knows? Maybe they're fake. I don't even know if my boobs are fake. I'm getting nervous. Silly Jinx said, I had social anxiety, not anymore, though. I think my loss of social anxiety is obvious, though, because I'm talking. Exactly, you're talking. That's the thing. Look, I had a fear of driving cars. The best thing I did, and I want to thank my buddy Jared Goodwin on this one, he got me driving. And it was really, really cool. He encouraged me a lot. And he didn't give up on me either. So, it was really a good time. And now, I do like DoorDash and stuff. It's great. Roger says, but I need to be able to keep it steady and not ask weird questions due to which women have a rejected online. Okay. That's good. Well, I guess you got to ask yourself, why do you ask weird questions? And are those questions that you feel are relevant to ask? If you feel like they're needed, or maybe you got a little bit of Tourette's and you just got to ask the weird questions. Hey, look, maybe the questions are relevant to you. You got to ask yourself the question, though. Are these questions helpful to me in this? If you feel they're necessary, then they're necessary questions. If you feel like they're stupid, then they're stupid. But you got to be really analytical on this. You know, you don't want to be overly analytical, but you got to be like, okay, is this a dumb question to ask a girl? Maybe you write out the questions. Be like, well, this is a dumb one. I don't even know why I would ask this. I think this is, or you could say this is a relevant one. You got to figure that part of it out. Silly Jinx says, I'm a bi, so it's going to be harder for me to find a girl. How is that harder, dude? It seems like you got the open market. Because if you're bi, that means you have... I mean, I could see where you're coming from, though, because if you admit to somebody that you're bi, that could be a problem. I can see that being an issue. Roger says, some girls and many guys do say I'm funny. Yeah, just be yourself. Look, if you're funny, you're already ahead of the curve. You know, just don't ask. I guess the thing I could say is just don't ask weird, pervy questions, I guess would be the, you know, if you feel like you're asking like overly perverted questions that you probably shouldn't ask, maybe avoid that. Alex, oh God, dude, Alex, look, I got one girlfriend and that's all I want. I ain't no playa. In fact, if anything, I that's my preference, is to be a one-woman man. That's all I want to be. I don't know why Mormons would have multiple wives. I don't get that part of it. Like, I just want, you know, one woman who cares about me and I care about her. That's all that matters to me. And we love each other. I try to make sure she's happy to the best of my ability. Random player. I'm sorry. Your other significant other is an AI. You know, whatever floats your boat, random AI, random player. I shouldn't be too judgy. Random player says Garza the old and the old. Let's see. Roger says, you are so attractive. Your eyes are mesmerizing. Thank you. Are you talking about me? Or are you talking about somebody? I hope you're not talking about me. If you're talking about me, I'm not going to be like offended or anything. I'm flattered, Roger, but you know, do your thing. Random player says, I try to meet people in real life, but there are so many beaches. Yep. It's getting weird. Let's see. Silly Jinx says, I have a fear of roads for some reason, but I have no fear of bugs, not even spiders or snakes. But every time I am going to cross the road, I always say, yeah, heck no. I'm not going to get hit by crossing a road. Interesting. So Roger says, for example, if I had to do Omegle or something, let's see, girls would say hi first. I say nice things. Let's see, which sometimes a turn would blank my mind, and would overwhelm me. Okay, that's interesting. Sometimes you get overwhelmed, man. Hey, look, if you have flaws, people who will really accept you will see those flaws and be like, okay, I can work with that. And sometimes it's good to have relatable flaws, I guess, you know. It's not always easy, but man, you got to put yourself out there. Really, the key is, here's the thing, man. The key for you should be marketing. You just got to market yourself like crazy. That's what I think you should do. Tim Smith says, I was underly perverted at one point. Oh, the Michael Saylor train is dissipating. $112,877 is the current price of Bitcoin, my Clitcoin. Holy crap. But Tim, that's not a bad thing, man. Hey, it's good that you're under. I would rather. I think it's better to be underly perverted because it's like. I mean, maybe people want people to be more freaky. I've got no clue. Maybe that's what the world's looking for. It's a weird thing, man. Roger says would go so well, I wouldn't believe in myself. You wouldn't believe yourself. Okay, here's the thing. Just remember, you need to start telling yourself that you're the best, all right? That's what I do. When I start doing this YouTube show, every time before I say these 3 words. It's very simple, by the way. There's nothing elegant to this. But it pumps me up and it makes me feel like I could do this. Because sometimes I do doubt myself before doing these shows. I say, I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. And I say it out loud. I don't say it in my head. I say, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. Those are the words that I say before doing a live stream. It pumps me up. Gets my testosterone going, my self-esteem going. I start feeling like I'm like Tom Brady. You name it. So it's the best thing one could do. Alex says, okay. Silly Jinx says, I'm a single Pringle because I don't want to date. Yeah, that's understandable. Dustin is always DTF. Of course you are, Dustin. Jesus. Baltachi has a laughing emoji. Thank you. Wait a second. Please keep this stream family friendly. What? Dustin, I ain't doing that. F you, dude. Why does this show... No, this show is not family friendly. It was never meant to be. What are you talking about, my brony brother? Silly Jinx says, my mother always had to say, cross the road or I'll leave you there. Oh, man, I'm sorry about that, brother. Let's see. Alex says, my worst habit is playing video games. How can I stop playing them? Please tell me some tips. Honestly, man, here's the thing. The best way to stop playing something that you're addicted to or stop using something is to replace it with another addiction. Look, if you have an addictive personality, I just don't think there's anything stopping it. In fact, I think an addictive personality can be a benefit, shockingly. And I used my addictive personality to my advantage. I started getting really addicted to working. You know, I started getting addicted to working on my YouTube channel. I started getting addicted to working, doing DoorDash, stuff like that. Just working. But also working with a purpose. You still need to work with a purpose. You still need to be smart. You still need to write down your goals. You still need to write down the things that you need to do. Baltachi says, watch Jordan Jordan Peterson's pretty good, man. I like Jordan Peterson. Bitcoin sucks, so it doesn't matter what happens to it. It's going up. Baltachi, you know that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. I hope you do, man. Okay, it's okay, though. Random player says, do you like candy, Jinx? I have some hard candy in my Oh, whoa, Jinx, don't. Baltachi says, that's a trap. Dude. Roger says, but when you say you are the best, that's what people call borderline narcissism, so that confuses me. Why is that narcissism? To hype yourself up? We live in a society where people have such a lack of self-confidence that when they hear things, when people say that to themselves, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. I don't, you know what? If that's narcissism, then I'm a narcissist. Fuck it. I don't really care. I don't care how society grades me. If society wants to say I'm a narcissist, good. Good. As long as I'm making money, call me a narcissist. I don't really care. But what I'm trying to say is this. If you want to call it borderline narcissism, I hope I'm a narcissist. Because you see, it helps pump me up mentally. So if you can tell yourself that you're the best a few times, you start to believe it. And if you start believing that you're the best, you're gonna put out your best effort, right? So what you're doing is it's not faking it till you make it. It's honestly an incantation like, I am the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. You know, saying it a few times, it's a good thing. And you don't even have to say I'm the best. You could be like, I'm powerful. I'm healthy. I got this. We're going to get this out of the park. We're going to nail this. You know, that sort of thing. It's just being confident. Confidence is not narcissism. The problem is we live in a world full of people who are so unconfident with themselves. Once they see somebody doing something that pumps their own confidence up, they call it borderline narcissism or narcissism. I think that that's garbage. I think that sort of verbiage is garbage. And look, I'm fine with being considered a narcissist. I'm sure most of my viewers think I'm a narcissist, and I'm perfectly okay with that, by the way. I love negative labels from society because, honestly, I don't really give a crap what society thinks about me. I think that society's pretty gay for the most part. I think society's gotten gayer, so I really don't care. And when I say gay, I mean in the grade school sense, by the way, like, you know, dumb. Society's gotten ridiculous. And because society gets more and more ridiculous, I have to pump myself up and be confident because if I'm confident and nobody else is, I have a leg up on people. Silly Jinx says, I'm not a fan of candy. I like chips, though. Hell yeah. Akram says, bro, I'm on a diet. Give me some motivation. Diet soda helps. I mean, to me it does. I think it's good for everybody. I really don't, but, you know. Lazy airheads. Is it an airhead? Silly Jinx loves air. Dude, Silly Jinx, you are falling for the trap, brother. You're falling for the trap. Random player says, it just happens to be airheads, Jinx. What a good Jinx you are. Good guess, dude. Jinx, I'm just going to let you know. It sounds like you're about ready to head towards a white van. Jinx. A virtual white van is what's happening here. Alex says, okay. Kimoy says, and by the way, Kimoy Chapman in the house saying that Garza is my new addiction. Well, if you guys want to get addicted to me, you know, whatevs, I appreciate it. Just remember, you guys it's good to have multiple obsessions, in my opinion. These are all just my opinions, by the way. You know, definitely consult a therapist, consult a medical person, whatever. But be smart about it. You know, the best way to get rid of a bad addiction is to replace it with a better one. Like, instead of me smoking cigarettes, I go on YouTube and live stream. Are we witnessing virtual... We're witnessing something disturbing here in the chat, by the way. Silly Jinx says, gimme. Random player... Oh, no. Jinx is screwed. Beltachi says you got tricked, Jinx. Oh, man. Random player says my pocket has zipper, silly. Okay, so we're getting into some real murky territory just now with random player. Oh boy, takes airhead. Oh. Silly Jinx has been averted. Oh my god. There was some grapeage going on. I thought there was going to be some grape. Let's just put it that way, graping. Eek. Roger says, does height matter? How tall are you? And is 5'7" bad? So I'm about 6'11". No, hold on. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm 6'1", not 6'11". No, 6'1". Sorry, dude. If I was 6'11", that would have been sick. But no, I'm only 6'1". I'm surprisingly tall. I'm kind of built like a refrigerator for the most part. But yeah, I'm 6'1", straight up. Random player says I'm 5'10". Sailor's a shill. A little bit, yeah. I agree with that. 5'7" is average. I mean, 5'7's. So you're not like super short by any means, but it is true. There are girls out there that like tall dudes. But hey, look, remember what I said about this. It doesn't really always matter, okay? If somebody likes you, they're going to like you for who you are. And yeah, there will be a physical attraction between the two of you. There are girls, by the way, that like shorter dudes. In fact, there are tall women that love shorter dudes. So if most girls will say that 5'7" is too short for them, there are girls who will say 5'7" is a damn good height. Don't lie about your height. Just don't do it. All right? And don't wear those freaking shoes. My brother has these shoes that make him kind of close to 6 foot. I don't know. Alex is saying I am 6'6". Hell yeah. Keemoy says I like the haircut. Thank you, Keemoy. I appreciate it, man. I've been I cut it this morning. I was gonna cut it last night, but it got too late. I didn't want to wake up the neighbors with my little vacuum haircut thing, so I just got up this morning and cut the hair and took a shower. And now I'm looking more suave, but it's all an even haircut, you know, and gotta do what I gotta do, man. Appreciate it though. I'm like Lady Demetrius from. Oh, that's creepy. The gym could be a good addiction, for sure. I mean, me personally, I just go out and play basketball from time to time. That's really what I do. Okay, Random is saying. Oh, Random's giving the grapey glare. Silly Jinx is saying now I'm not. Random giving me the glare again. Yep, that's what Random does, man. Random player says I only like to meet in city parks around 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Sounds. I am disturbed by my chat. My chat is disturbing me. By the way, I don't know what to do anymore, man. This is crazy. Dustin says, do you sit on the ball because you have hemorrhoids? Do you think it's safe drinking out of plastic? I think drinking out of plastic is fine. Look, if I get microplastics up my urethra or whatever, it happens. It's not the ideal circumstance, but... Unbelievable. So, Unbelievable says, oh, just be interested in the world and you'll attract attention. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm talking about Michael Saylor. I'm talking about Elon Musk. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. I talk about everybody on this show. Roger says, is curly hair bad or zesty, to be honest, on a guy? Like I said, look, some people, some girls, man, they love guys with curly hair. Some girls, they just love dudes with straight hair. It just depends. Everyone has different tastes. By the way, the more you put yourself out there, the more you might be able to find the one for you. So don't give up. Look at and be confident, by the way. Just tell yourself that that you're the best. Be like, I'm the best. I'm the best. And look, if somebody thinks that that's like you don't have to do this, by the way. But I personally don't believe it's borderline narcissistic disorder. But if people want to say that is, good. Because honestly, when you've been effed with your whole life, you have to say things like, I'm the best. Because, man, I lose confidence pretty quickly. I do. I'm one of those people that I have to remind myself, like, I got freaking tiger's blood, man. I'm the best. You know, I get that Charlie Sheen mode. But I tell myself, I'm the best. I'm the best, man. I'm the best. And it fires me up, man, because I'm like, boom, you got to make sure you're like doing, sometimes I go like, I'm the best. Boom. And then you just start pushing through those barriers. Because if you tell yourself something enough times, you start to become it, right? So telling yourself allows yourself to be that. I'm not saying it's magic. But what I'm saying is the more you tell your brain, because your brain doesn't want to be wrong, the more you're going to align with finding ways to be the best at whatever you want to be. Like, I'm the best YouTuber. I'll tell myself, like, I'm the best basketball player. Clearly, I'm not. But I'm going to believe that anyway. And usually I end up doing really, really good. So, Baltachi says, most women like curly hair in his experience. Silly Jinx says, I'm a short dude. There's nothing wrong with being short, brother. Look, if you're just honest with yourself and you put yourself out there, there are people who like shorter people. So it's okay. Random Player says, head pats, be successful, women don't care. Look, honestly, being successful matters. Silly Jinx says, rude, condescending head pats. Oh, I think Random Player wants to abuse Silly Jinx. That's what I'm feeling in the chat. Dude, you are the fucking best. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it, man. I try. I really do. So, I don't know, man. That's the way I see it. Pretty simple. Keep it simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it, man. I mean it when I say that. There's just really no need to overcomplicate any of it. I'm going to end the poll, though. It looks like 58% of you say Michael Saylor's bold. So bold. So, Roger, tall, ugly, or short, or handsome? I don't know. Look, you just got to be you, man. You just got to be you. But Short Jinx says, Beltachi says, you can't accomplish something you don't believe. The man who says he can't and the man who says they can are both usually right. Exactly. I choose to tell myself that I am the best, that I could do this. And you know how much my self-esteem goes up? I feel better about myself. And I start putting forth the effort. I lose my doubts. And the best part about saying that you're the best is you lose your doubts. Once I lose my doubts, dude, I'm pretty happy. Silly Jinx is crying. I think Silly Jinx, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry if Random Player's being creepy. I am not going to read Veronica B's chat, dude. Veronica B is going to have to super chat only if she wants me to even highlight some of that filth. Baltachi says it's leveled out. Heck yeah. Silly Jinx. Yeah, just believe you're the best. You don't even... Yeah, exactly, Roger. You don't even have to compare yourself to anybody. When I say that I'm the best, I just believe I'm at the top. I'm at the top of my game, and I got this. Boom. Your mind starts shifting. The way your mind operates, the whole goal about doing that is to change who you are internally. And what I mean by that is your confidence. I think, Roger, when you were chatting, even the way you were typing, I felt came off a little bit with a lack of confidence. The way you described your situation was actually really good. I'm not gonna lie. It was well written. But what I was saying is I could tell the lack of confidence by the questions that you were asking. Look, you're not always going to win, and you're probably going to get rejected. That's just a part of it. But it's nothing to be ashamed of, man. My God, when I was younger, I got rejected left and right all the time. But I kept putting myself out there. That was the goal. And eventually you'll find somebody who actually wants to be around you. May take a bit. But look at you. There are going to be points where you do get down on yourself. It happens. You are just human, okay? But you can be more than that. And you can do the best you can. So keep just saying that you're the best. Convince yourself that you're the best. And if anybody asks why you're doing it, be like, hey, there was a dude on the internet named Michael Garza who told me that it'd probably be a good idea if I at least let myself know that I'm the best, all right? And you just remember, you can always improve. Growth of character, growth of soul, intellect, it's all there. You have that ability, silly Jinx, brother. Exactly, man. Better than you were yesterday, exactly. Roger says I'm the best screw better. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Cotone is what? I don't know what that means. Anyway. To be honest, looks maxing has served me at the same time screwed me. Corone is the best dog girl. Okay. Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'll tell you guys what. BRB. All right, I'll be right back. One moment, everybody. Okay. So Silly Jinx says I'm gonna go eat right now. Bye, dudes and dudettes. Bye, man. Another one slips. Jinx did escape from random player. He wouldn't escape Jinx if he weren't. Oh my! What is going on? Roger says, anyways, why do random women at times, let's see, stare or eye contact towards me, just creeps me out? Doesn't anybody know what those mean? Yeah, it means they're probably attracted to you, man. It's not a bad thing. Heck yeah, brother. Get it. Back is killing me. Sorry about that, you guys. Don't know what's up with my back. Don't know what's up with my crack. But I'm back. Well, that's creepy. Shannon says hi. Damn, I'm gonna try to. Okay, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Bye. Okay. Have fun. Random player says, I remember you, Shannon. Liberal, let's see, and there was 2. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody who's showing up. I mean, I'm sorry. I legit, my back was just blah. You guys ever have that moment where your back just totally F's out on you? You're just like, ugh. So, appreciate everybody sticking around. So what do you guys think about Michael Saylor? Like, do you guys have any opinions on the guy? Do you guys think that Michael Saylor is kind of in the grifter category with it all? Ooh, hold on. Ford Femboy, dude. My boy. My boy. Boltachi's back, dude. He's ready to claim number 1. Who wants to dethrone random player 717? The best way to dethrone somebody, no joke, is usually through like a $5 or $10 super chat. That'll put you in the top fan ranking and will destroy all hopes and dreams. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, though. The more subscribers we have, the better. It does increase our visibility on the algorithm. So I really do appreciate all subscriptions. It means the world to me, is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, I mean, my following, it goes up and it goes down. Sometimes the followers will go up. Sometimes the followers will go down. It just depends. What's your political leading? Oh, to random. Yeah, I mean, I think we all know what mine is, but yeah, as far as randoms goes, I think it's kind of ambiguous so far. We don't really know. Not too bad, though. Whatever. I'm Canadian, but the Democrats give me the echo. I understand that. It's definitely understandable. All right, one moment. Yeah, you guys are going to give me one more moment. Just give me a few more seconds. I got to cut up a couple things here real quick. BRB, everybody. BRB. Stuff I got to deal with. It's getting weird, you guys. Silly Jinx is back, but random players probably... Oh, no. We all know what's going to happen here. Silly Jinx, you're... There's a white van in the chat. Gotta watch out, bro. It's probably set up for a joke, man. I don't know. Let's see. It's a very serious question to promote diversity and equality of our nation. Okay. I don't know. I think diversity is a good thing. Like, what do you want me to say on that? Random player says I'm more of a birds of a feather. Heck yeah, understandable. CC says, has anyone seen this man's eyebrows? It's funny. Roger says is being able to sing a common thing, not equity, darling. That's a stake in the company. Quality? I don't know. I don't really care. Either way, I'm not going to be schooled by a liberal because there's nothing to school here. Do whatever you want to do, man. Roger says is being able to sing a common thing. It's like, just have a little patience. I'm still hurting from above. I'm lost. I'm feeling your frustration. But any minute all the pain will stop. Just hold me close inside your arms tonight. Don't be too hard on my emotions, 'cause I just need time. My heart is numb, has no feeling, so while I'm still healing, just try and have a little patience, yeah. Have a little patience, yeah. 'Cause the skies run so deep, it's been hard. But I have to believe in me. Just have a little patience. I got equity in companies, baby. The only equity I want in my life is my investments, man. That's my equity. Cause I just need time. My heart is numb, has no feeling, so while I'm still healing, just try and have a little Patience. Have a little patience. My heart is numb, has no feeling. So while I'm still healing, just try and have a little patience. What's up with the Trump economy? It's very sexy. What's up with it? It's sexy. Seems like he's in fact not a good bit. I think Trump is the GOAT, dude. The greatest businessman of all time, dude. Random player says, it's true sometimes. I don't know where I am. Or whatever. Nah, okay. Baltachi is, oh god, Baltachi, are you, I mean, if you want to hit on whoever you want to hit on in the chat, I mean, it's up to you, but you gotta watch out, dude. That random person's gonna try to peg both you and Silly. So Baltachi89 and Silly Jinx, I believe their future is getting pegged by a random player. That's my prediction. I don't know if we're gonna see that in the poly markets at all, but we might. Define capital gains. Well, anytime you get some sort of profit from an investment. So if I put $100 into Coca-Cola stock and that stock goes up by $10, so my equity becomes $110, the capital gains on that initial investment is actually just $10. So it's as simple as that. Boltachi just explained it way better than I did. That's the money you have left after you paid off your expenses. Well, yeah. When I'm just looking at it from an investment point of view, though, I'm looking at, well, what, just the investment alone. If I invest in anything, like, what is my overall gain? That's the capital gains. That's basically profit, whatever your profit is. Dude, random player, quit offering Silly Jinx airheads out of your white van. And also, can you, random player, please stop chaining Silly Jinx to your toilet. Not good, dude. But I appreciate you all. All right, you guys, we're already on hour 3. We'll do another segment. We'll do another show here in a bit. It's going to be on probably a different subject. I need time to think about what the next subject is going to be. I'm going to eat some lunch, and then we'll get back to doing the crazy streams that we traditionally do on this channel. That's just what we are. We're wild. We're crazy. We're out of our gourd. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm ending the stream now. But also give a shout out again. Random player ended up receiving MVP of the day, #1 fan. If anybody, before we end the stream, does anybody want to overtake? Does anybody want to overtake random player? But basically, if he's give a $5 super chat, that should do the trick. That should allow you to be the #1 fan for this particular stream. Anybody want to overtake? Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Just have a very sexy rest of the day. Later, guys.